Hello and welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast for November 23rd, 2019. Today we are talking more Batman casting, some news about a certain Mandalorian character, and some PS5 news. Stay tuned for all that and more. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to the Barrel Roll Newscast. We're here to talk about game news, movie news, and other sorted nerd news from around the internet from the last week.
What there was to find.
What there was to find. Slow news week, everybody. Slow news week. So as it goes, I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
Batman has cast even more people in this film, which is really starting to throw me for a loop.
It's actually turning out to be quite a cast.
It's going to be quite the cast, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that they're going to try setting up stories for, which is one of those things that starts to worry me.
But they'll be side characters. They'll be cameos.
And if they're cameos, that's cool, but like
Falcone will probably be just a spoiler there. I just throw that out there.
That's fine. It's what we're going to talk about. Falcone is
He'll probably be one of the main guys.
Or is he the guy that like gets picked up right at the beginning of the movie to show how like badass Batman is?
Sure, but
like that's the thing.
It depends where they're going with this Batman. We don't know.
And that's the piece is like, but we've got the Penguin in here already, or at least Oswald Cobblepot.
They don't have an actor.
Yeah, Colin Farrell.
Oh right. Well, that was rumored. He still hasn't confirmed. You have Riddler, Catwoman. No. You'll have what's his face for Alfred?
Yes.
Andy
Gollum.
Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
And I reckon I can't remember his name, but Commissioner Gordon is cast.
Yes, Commissioner Gordon's cast. But like, there's an awful lot of bad guys kind of being cast with bigger named people, which is the thing that's kind of like John Turturro. The news piece here is John Turturro is playing Carmine Falcone.
Yeah.
Which is an odd choice for me again, but I like him. It's not that I don't like John Turturro. The last guy they had playing Falcone, like Nolan's Falcone, was a really good Falcone.
Oh yeah.
Like that actor was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an older. Or no, that wasn't older.
He was oldish.
Yeah.
We'll go with oldish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mixing up my Gotham and
the
last Batman thing I watched.
But that's the piece is like Falcone is. I don't know if it's a Turturro-y type character.
I think he could.
I think he can. But again, obviously, by casting someone like Turturro, Falcone is going to be somewhat of a major player in this movie.
I wonder if you could do it. They're going to do it like Arkham Origins? Yeah.
Maybe.
Where it's someone hires a group of people, go kill this Batman guy. He's being a super pain in the butt.
And it could be.
And that would be Falcone's role in all of this.
I see it almost setting up like the Telltale game setup, where it's like we're going to introduce people and not everybody necessarily is going to be like their specific bad guy yet.
Except the people that they have
obviously sign on for multiple movie deals and hope.
Falcone is immediate bad guy.
Sure.
Because
he's a crime boss. Yeah.
Riddler, I guess you could give a backstory to, but you don't want to jump into all of that with, like you said, all of those villains.
Right. I feel like Oswald Cobblepot is a good character to like introduce and then be like, okay, and then like goodbye Colin Farrell till next movie.
Maybe.
Something like that.
And I mean, even with the Origins thing, because in that game, it was Black Mask that hired everybody out, like Deadshot and everybody to go kill Batman.
Yep.
Unfortunately, Black Mask is being used in another film right now, so they can't use that character.
So Falcone would be the character.
So Falcone would be a substitute to go, I'm going to throw this money at people.
See who kills the Batman.
Because this way you almost go in that way of the game where he's kind of starting out.
Yep.
He doesn't have all the tech. He's still kind of fresh on the fighting scene. You could. That's why I want to lean towards that.
Yeah, and that's the piece. Like, that's what I would like to assume is going to happen. But
which I can only assume then more villains are going to be announced.
Right, and that's the
I think they're leaving out the one big one intentionally. Because that was kind of a twist in the game where he was randomly just came in there.
Yeah.
But I think you leave him out of this because he won't want to have anything to do with the money.
Maybe.
I think you'll. Who would be a replacement for Deadshot? Because you can't really use Deadshot either. I don't know the universe that well. He has a great cast of villains, but
not that kind of guy though.
Like you're not going to do Croc.
No.
I'd say Deadshot would be there.
Yeah, that's an interesting.
You could do Bane. Although I don't know if you'd want to do Bane.
You don't want to do Bane right away. Batman.
Bigger guy. Way bigger guy.
Yeah. In an actual like luchador mask.
Yeah.
I think you give into the comic booky stuff in this movie for sure.
I'd be okay if it went this way.
Because that's
the way I'm thinking.
Yeah, but that's the piece. Is like the games did a good job of still being very comic book like.
Yeah. And
that's where and the Nolan movies were good.
Yeah.
But that's where DC started losing all of their fan bases. Your characters weren't comic book characters anymore. You're trying to make them like human and deep and dark. And that's where I think Captain America, Wonder Woman did really well, is because like her walking out of a trench and getting shot at by the miniguns and all of the stuff and just being like, nope. Yeah. You're like, that's superhero-y.
Yeah. But Batman's not really
And I get that. And Batman can go dark. Like, Batman's the one guy that can go dark. Yeah. But that's the thing is, like, Nolan's movies did so well, they're like, we will make all of our movies Nolan-esque. And you're like...
You can't do it with Superman.
No, that's why Man of Steel was such a bad flick, is because you're sitting there going, like, you can't have Superman be dark and broody. Yeah. Superman's got to be light and, like... woo, we can do it, everybody.
Save his darkness for the later movie.
Sure, like, have him take a turn at some point, but not... Like, he can't start that way.
Yeah.
Like, him all, like, traveling the world or whatever he was doing at the beginning of Man of Steel still made no sense to me.
He wanted to get away from things.
But away from what? He grew up in Kansas on a lovely farm, like...
Dad dying.
At, like, a super different age. Like, that's the piece to me that kind of threw me for a loop, was, like... You're supposed to have this kid that was so full of hope.
Yeah.
And you didn't. Batman, at least, you can still go dark, but still make it cartoony. Like, if we get into some of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's where I've always thought the bad guys have been cast really well, even if the movies have kind of been junk. Yeah. Like, Jim Carrey as a Riddler is amazing. And Tommy Lee Jones, I thought, as Two-Face did a stupidly good job, because he legitimately did play that psycho character really well.
I think he could have psychoed it up more.
Well, and that's the piece, is, how far do you go? As opposed to the Bane and Two-Face that we got in Nolan's movies, where they were, like, people. Go a little bit extra, like, comic book flair with these guys.
Yeah.
And then you've got yourself a...
Actually, that would be one we have... you could probably throw in there would be Two-Face.
Possibly, because we never really got Two-Face.
Throw in a different one.
But it's like, like the Harvey Dent. We got Harvey Dent.
Yeah.
And then we got a really mad Harvey Dent.
A little insane one.
Like,
he didn't do the split personality thing.
No, and that's the piece, is he didn't have that fight with himself, and he didn't have, like, give us that Two-Face.
Yeah.
And yes, give us, like, the weird boiled, face kind of, not the weird burned flesh.
It made sense.
It made sense, because again, Nolan was trying to draw from reality while still giving you comic book.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, make his face green and, get him to the point where he's legitimately dressing in, like, half a suit.
Yes.
You know.
Very, like you said, comic booky.
I think that's what DC's been missing is giving into those pieces. Just trying to be like...
have fun with it.
Yeah, have fun. What up? No. Go away. So, yeah. John Turturro, though, playing Falcone.
Interesting.
Yes.
Better than some of the other things that have been coming out. Who wants to join comic book?
Sure. So
stuff.
Jack Black wants to join the MCU.
Express interest in joining the MCU. Sure, do it, but find a good role.
Sure, everybody has a place in, especially the MCU. It's such a large.
And the same with the DC.
Sure, like everybody can have a place in those movies. You just have to find the right place.
Yeah.
Dupe. The Green Mutant, the Blob, voiced by Jack Black.
I don't think he wants to be actually physically there.
That's nice. Cannonball.
No, Cannonball's a small guy. He is in the comics. He's a small dude. No, but what we're referring to is Jack Black has come out and said he would like to join the MCU and
in specific roles.
Either play one of the two bald characters, I guess, Kingpin or the Thing. No.
You know who's really good at playing the Thing? The guy who played them in the other two Fantastic Four movies, not the one we don't talk about, but you know.
Sure. Yeah, I guess. I would almost expect someone more physically into it.
Sure. John Cena.
No. Don't think so. John Cena can go play a villain.
You think?
Maybe, I don't know.
I think he could pull off.
He hasn't played a villain yet.
I think he could be the Thing.
When is he? I don't know if in Bumblebee if he was the villain, but
anti something.
Antagonist.
Yeah, I guess antagonist.
See, big word.
Good word. But yeah, like. Yeah, Dupe. I'm giving him Dupe.
Dupe. Never heard of Dupe.
The only reason I know of Dupe is from that old Versus card game we used to play.
No.
And I feel like he could knock that one out of the park.
I think he could play Clay. No, that's DC.
He could do Clayface. I'd give him Clayface.
The actor.
Yeah. Like the over dramatic actor, because he can do that.
Yeah, that got into an accident and wrecked himself.
Yeah, I'd take him as Clayface.
Throwing that out there.
Well, because again, the menacing part of Clayface is all going to be CGI, so you're not going to be worried about him doing goofy faces or
He can mold himself into different people.
And then, that's the other piece. And again, Jack Black does. Again, not that I'm Jack Black. I'm 50-50 with. Depends on what his movies are. Like him in Jumanji, I thought was amazing.
Yeah.
Because he did. He I think hung out with that other actress for a while to figure out her mannerisms, and very much became her.
Yeah.
Because he was spectacular.
Yeah.
And then, his episode of Community, I hate. I skip it every time. So that's the piece. Jack Black is he can act.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't feel like he's not the Thing to me. He does not have that
Kingpin
presence. And again, if they do the Thing as CGI, he still doesn't, his voice doesn't have that presence.
Gravelly.
Yeah. At least the guy that they had for the first one, his voice was that voice.
Yeah. I don't know.
I know who can play the Thing. Vin Diesel.
He's already in the MCU.
Great. As a tree. So now make him the big rock.
He can't.
Why not?
He's already in the MCU.
So what? He's just doing voices. Just get him to do voices. That's Vin Diesel's thing for the MCU.
Voices.
All the big strong guys he just does voices for.
The CGI guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anywho.
Speaking of Fantastic Four, look at us go.
Yeah.
Jonathan Trank, who made Fan Four Stick, or part of Fan Four Stick before they fired him and then did a bunch of reshoots and released that movie, is trying to hop on board the Snyder Cut hashtag momentum train because he wants to release the Trank cut of Fan Four Stick to prove that it was actually a good movie.
I don't know if you could save that movie.
There's no saving that film.
I've never seen it.
There's no saving that movie.
But I don't know why everybody all of a sudden wants the Snyder version of Justice League.
Yes.
I don't know why.
It resurged again because one of the main actors said that they should.
It started with Momoa, didn't it?
I don't know, but like now most of the Justice League is like,
do it,
release it, and it's like
they're not going to.
No, they've released another statement going, no, like, you got the movie we paid for.
Yeah,
go away. No one wanted.
We're clearly not going to make enough money to recover anything.
No one wanted to see this one in the first place. No one wants to see the, like, original. Not enough to recoup the money.
Yeah.
Whereas like something like Sonic the Hedgehog redoing the graphics on that
for only $5 mil.
I know. So because I think again they got a lot of help from Sonic Team.
Well, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
I think they probably thought there would be reshoots.
Right, and they just overlaid where like they just took them out and plopped the new model back in.
Yeah.
So it's like as long as all of your key animation frames are still kind of there,
yeah,
you know, you're just tweaking, and then once the new model's done, it's there. And again, if Sonic Team was like, here are all of our Sonic models, pick one and use it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Like it's the nice thing about digital animation is the stuff's there.
That part's easy.
Like that part's like once you have a model.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah,
things are at least part way done.
Mm-hmm.
The animation part's still a pain in the butt, but again, they already had some of those there, so as long as the model kind of still fit the skeleton, you know, you're kind of okay. So, but yeah, Jonathan Trank wants us to see the Trank cut, and I've seen that. Like I did end up watching that movie, and it was.
I still don't want to see it.
No, don't. Like there was clearly that's the thing about Trank wanting this movie out is I'm like, but I watched the part that you filmed, like, because you clearly know what he filmed versus what was reshot. He still doesn't understand the Fantastic Four. Like,
which parts did he shoot then?
The beginning.
That's it.
There's a point where all of a sudden, as soon as they kind of get their powers, his stuff's out. Because is it Kate Mara who played the Invisible Woman?
Yeah.
She goes from having, like, her own hair to having what is clearly a wig because the reshoots had to happen and her hair had been, like, cropped or whatever. So instead of doing the reshoots and just being like, oh, she got her powers and cut her hair, they're like, no, Susan Storm has, like, long blonde hair, so let's do it. So they gave her a wig. And you can clearly tell, like, so that's where the cut is. As soon as she's got the stupid wig on, that's it. So.
No.
No. I don't want that movie anymore.
I don't think they'll even cave to that.
No, because it's Disney now that owns it. They're not going to release a movie that did that.
Terrible.
Yeah. And again, they're not going to spend the money
Yeah.
to edit the film to make that happen.
No.
Because you got to pay someone to do that. On the other hand, they have gone through Star Wars again and cleaned it all up for the Disney Plus
Which one? The originals?
Yeah, 4, 5, 6.
So it doesn't look as CGI-ish?
Apparently it still kind of looks CGI-ish, but like the color correction's back to where it used to be for the original film.
Yeah.
And they've cleaned up some of the lightsaber stuff because there was points when, like with the new releases, where by hitting the color correction button, like they just hit a button and said process instead of going like through scenes making sure everything was right. Like Luke's lightsaber would be green in A New Hope. So they've gone through and corrected all of that stuff again. Han and Greedo kind of shoot at the same time.
Sure they do.
That was the last change they made on the Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Was kind of to appease people. It was like, what if they both shot at the same time?
But Guido just missed.
Greedo missed, and Han obviously had the better. Like he was prepped and had the better shot.
Yeah.
Because he's Han Solo. And it's like, okay.
This debate will still be there.
It'll still be there.
They'll break it down to microseconds.
Yeah.
Which one shot first?
Yeah, exactly. You'll see the little like red tinge leaving the blaster, and it's like, see,
he shot first.
Shot first.
Done.
That would make fans extremely happy if Han shot first. So yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those things where Disney's putting money in where they know they're going to get the return investment.
Yeah.
Clearly, they're not going to do it for the Trank cut, and clearly the Warner Brothers people aren't going to do it for the Snyder cut because they know no one wants to see the Justice League movie.
It's past its time.
Like, you look at how much money that movie made, and I forgot I was talking to a coworker the one time we were looking up totals, and it's like, well, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then you look at like even the first Avengers movie, and I'm like, and the first Avengers movie made like 5 times more money than it did.
Yeah.
Like the Justice League should not be that far behind.
No.
And there's no edit to that movie that makes it that much better.
If we're basing it off what else he's done.
Yes. No, exactly. Like again, I know I've seen that guy's films. I know what I was getting.
Yeah.
I saw Batman v Superman.
It was alright.
It was a film.
It was alright.
It was a movie. Martha!
I still love that in Jay and Silent Bob.
Yeah.
What's her name? That was good.
Still taking on with the like Star Wars stuff. Moving on to our next actual thing. If you haven't seen The Mandalorian yet, you have somehow avoided this spoiler on the internet. Good for you, but we're about to throw it at you anyways. Baby Yoda is a creature within The Mandalorian. It's not actually Yoda.
Don't know.
It is just it's an alien of his race.
Yes.
A 50-year-old.
Apparently.
But because they are so long-lived, this thing is still considered a baby or an infant.
Yeah.
Either way, it is the cutest thing
yeah.
known to man, and Disney knows it because before Christmas hits, we are going to have Baby Yoda merch within the Disney stores.
Which went against their original thing. I don't think they were going to release any merch before Christmas. I think it was going to be after.
Yes. Now they want
to. Now the big hype of this.
Well, because again, their big thing was everybody's tired of Star Wars.
Yeah.
Nobody wants Star Wars anymore.
But you throw in a Baby Yoda.
Well, and you throw in a really good show. Like, that's the piece. The Mandalorian feels like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, I'm watching it yesterday, and I'm going, like, I'm worried.
I knew it was...
I'm worried. I'm relieved. I'm sitting there going, but then you're watching him walk
happen.
down the streets and, like, just all the different aliens that are walking through, and you're like, well, where did that guy come from? Because that was the cool part about the old Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
Was, like, where do these creatures come from? Where do these creatures come from? Even the prequels with, like, the big council chamber, when you're looking at all the different kind of alien species, you're like, oh, where are those people from? Like, clearly an artist got paid to just come up with something stupid to throw into the background. But it's Star Wars, so that person can have a story.
Yeah.
There's that weird little thing walking down the street in, like, a weird, like, spacesuit.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
I feel like that was a throwback to something.
I know, and I feel like that, too, but that's what Star Wars is supposed to make you feel like. So, again, we get a really kick-butt show.
Yeah.
And, again, they throw in, like, a cute little sidekick character.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, merch.
It's gonna be
I
a
need
hot
12
seller.
of those.
It's gonna be a hot seller.
I know.
Good luck trying to find it.
Right.
It's just not.
But yes, Disney is releasing merch. But I think that's why they said they weren't going to release merch for the show.
But if you knew this character, though, you have to anticipate that.
Disney's been kind of dumb when it comes to the merchandising. Because even as bad as, like, not that it did horribly, but like the Christopher Robin movie didn't do stellar in theaters. They did not anticipate that the, like, live action looking plushies would sell well. And you're like, are you guys stupid? Like, they're non-cartoony characters, plush dolls that people who, again, adults who like Disney stuff can actually put somewhere in their house without it being like, oh, are you guys having kids?
Yeah.
You're like, well, no, it's, because they look a little bit older and it looks like it's part of a collection as opposed to just...
Yeah.
But they made, like, 10 of them for each store. And you're like, okay. And then they sold out in the first 5 minutes. Yep. And it's like, are you getting more? And everybody at the Disney store is going, we don't think so. They weren't expecting them to sell that fast.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's...
And now they've pumped out enough where you can go to the Disney store. And
it's not like those are hard to make.
No, and again, it's that, like, once they're on an assembly line...
And that would make sense for this Yoda thing, because it was not, like I said, it was not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Now it's supposed to come sometime before Christmas,
which means they're just
a month and a half.
Which, yes, it means they, like, took over some of the other assembly lines and switched them all to making Baby Yodas. Like, that's pretty much,
It's gonna be so...
You're not gonna get... they've probably stopped production on, like, extra genies or something like that. I'm trying to think of other movies that have come out this year. Like, they've stopped with Lion King merch and Aladdin merch, and they're just like, pump out Yodas. Yodas are gonna make us all the money this Christmas.
But yeah, that's
He's such a nice little character, too, because he's clearly a puppet in parts of it.
It's so small. The size keeps messing with me. I know. Yeah, takes off stuff. And even when we talk about it more in the
post-credit,
but even when he's being carried around there, and it's like, he's like super tiny.
Yeah. Which works out really well for the show, which again we can talk about after. But yeah, no, like it's perfect for merch.
And yeah, like you could probably expect something that about
like
that
the
big.
Funko Pop is going to be absolutely cute. Like all of the merch that is going to come out about like, and I feel like we're going to get a name for him soon, so that the merch doesn't all just say Baby Yoda, because
we'll see more Star Wars stuff here though.
Yes.
Even the Mandalorian character.
Heck yeah.
As I think he's being called Mando.
Yeah.
So even him, I think you could not a plush thing per se.
Not plush, but no, you'll like the armor will start coming out.
Halloween costume.
Yeah. Oh sure, because Boba Fett and Jango Fett were huge for like costume.
Now you have to throw a silver shade on it. And...
Right, it's the exact same armor, and you just like paint it silver and get rid of some of the like emblems.
Different helmet.
Yeah.
You're good.
Yeah. I know, so that's my like. That show is so merchandisable because they actually did a good job with it.
Yeah.
And then now there's talk of like we're gonna find out what the next movie news is in 2020. In January of 2020, they're going to announce the next movie, not Rise of the Skywalker, but because that'll be out by then. But after that, I think they're going to wait and see how Rise of the Skywalker does, and then announce the next movie.
See if they want to stick to TV or
This
is the Mandalorian is going to be the only Star Wars TV show
for now. Obi-Wan's coming.
Obviously, other than the cartoons with Resistance and
Obi-Wan's coming.
Right. Yes.
And they're doing a prequel show about the guy from Rogue One with Alan Tudyk's the robot and the ship, the guy who flies the pilot.
Yeah.
He's getting a show.
Okay.
So we are getting more shows, and they announced, and it might have been this week that we missed this part, or last week we might have talked about it, but Jon Favreau is now more in charge of, like, they're putting Jon Favreau in charge. He's going to become like it sounds like the Kevin Feige of Star Wars.
Right.
Him and Dave Filoni, and Dave Filoni's the guy who has been in charge of Clone Wars, the cartoon.
Okay.
So the two of them put together, working on Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Like, done.
Yeah.
Because after The Mandalorian, it's like, because that's all it's
so
written by Jon Favreau.
So many questions about that.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Jon Favreau knows what he's writing, because it's been different directors every time too.
Yeah.
But it's all Jon Favreau's writing, so it's like, let's just let Jon Favreau write the movies from now on. Dave Filoni, like him, the two of them can get together and write the movies.
Yeah.
And we're good to go. Dave Filoni should clearly be working on the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, because, Obi-Wan in Clone Wars was so kick butt.
Yeah.
Give us that. Like, this is... And then Kathleen Kennedy, the lady that runs Lucasfilm, comes out with a comment that goes, well, it's hard for us to make movies because we don't have, years and years of comic books and books to go off of. And everybody's like, excuse me, but yes, you do. You just decided to ignore all of them.
And even the new stuff you could borrow off of.
Sure. But even the old stuff
that's where the inspiration for Palpatine has come from.
Right. But that's the piece. Like, you can even borrow off of old stuff and then flip some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to make the extended universe books canon again, but take pieces of all of those.
It'd be really weird because Han and Leia had twins.
Right. Like, you can't use that anymore, clearly.
No.
Unless they've just never mentioned them in any of the,
they didn't mention the secret second one.
Yeah. So, Ben has a sister.
Yeah. It's been speculated a lot.
And her name is Rey.
So much.
And they're twins!
Weird.
Bum.
They have this weird connection.
So yeah, either way, Baby Yoda merch coming to a Disney store near you. Last bit of news then.
Lighter news. I can't remember exactly when this hit.
But we haven't talked about it yet, so we're talking about it now.
Yeah. Just cause.
Yep.
PS5 is something that's coming out here right away.
Next year?
Early next year.
Somewhere next year.
Next
2020.
year.
Yeah.
2020. There was a recent leak of the patent for
The controller.
The PS5 controller.
Yes.
Pretty much, it is exactly like the PS4 one.
Yep.
With some slight difference that I think they said it's going to be slightly smaller.
Interesting.
Smaller, and then there's a plug-in thing at the bottom, where I think where the speaker or your headphones would go into. It's like a flop type thing going on.
D2 awesome.
It is awesome.
Like the Mighty Ducks 2?
Yes.
Heck yeah, it's awesome.
But yes, so it's nothing groundbreaking, but it's sticking with the familiar formula.
Yeah. The only other thing I saw that
and
this was a picture, but like the touchpad, because they're gonna keep the touchpad for whatever reason.
Yes. Yeah, the touchpad will stay the same, but the light on top won't be there anymore.
Oh, thank God.
There's no point to the light.
Well, it was supposed to work with the Move cameras and all, like the VR cameras and all of that stuff, but they're moving towards VR stuff. And that light, honestly, is the most annoying. Like, I first plugged in my system, and I'm like, okay, go!
Well, if you're holding it like this, it's going to shine in your eye.
It did! That was the first experience I had with my PlayStation. And I'm like,
And but there's no color, there's no reason for the colors, I don't think, other than when your battery's dying, it turns red.
Yeah. And it changes color depending on the game. Like, if you're playing hockey, it's white.
Is it?
Yep.
I don't know. I don't pay attention.
And again, that's the only reason I know that is because I didn't notice how bright it was until I turned on NHL 18 or whatever I was playing.
Yeah.
And, like, this white light was emanating from my controller, and I'm like, ice. It's ice.
Oh, okay.
So then I dimmed it, because you can dim the color in the options. So I dimmed it, because otherwise, yes, like, my controller was trying to light up my room. And then I think if you're playing Spider-Man, it's red or blue or something like that. And yeah. Like, it changes depending on the game you're playing, and it's like, great, because that was my concern. I forgot what game I was playing, so I'm going to check the color of my controller to know what all right.
Yeah. So that's
playing hockey, not Spider-Man.
Sounds like that's going away.
Okay.
I think they said something with the triggers will be a little bigger. I can't remember. They were going to be a little slight change in size in the shoulder buttons.
And I wonder if that's
to make it more.
I wonder if that's just feedback from people like
gamer, or more competitive or whatever.
Yeah.
Even if you put a little loop on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just so your finger kind of sits there without doing anything.
No, I'm trying to. But yeah, the touchpad that I saw a picture of had like even a little screen on it now that kind of helped you navigate.
Maybe that will.
And maybe that's part of it. Because, again, that touchpad is like, you can use the touchpad to navigate the screen. And you're like, okay. And again, like the first time you get one, you're like, this is stupid. But if the screen was actually on there as a...
Yeah, but that almost reminds me of the Wii...
U?
Is it U?
One with the actual big screen in the middle? Yeah. That was helpful because it was actually a large screen.
Yeah, this wouldn't be a big...
Right. That's why when PlayStation was like, we're putting a touchpad thing on our controller, and I'm like...
This would be like a mini map.
Could be.
Have it like a mini map where I'm thinking like Alien.
Yep.
Where it's
just the
sonar.
Yeah.
It's coming at you. Oh.
Like if they did put some kind of screen in there, because I mean, again, you can put. Oh, I'm pressing buttons. Hey, join us on our Discord. Look, I'm posting things. But like if you look at the Stream Deck thing, like it's miniature screens, easy to do.
Yeah.
Like if it's that kind of thing on the controller, and again, companies can use it or not use it as they want to.
Yeah.
Cool. And again, if it's for menu navigation, if I can actually see the button I want to press, again, like something like my phone where I can press an app.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's not a bad thing. That's just one of those like I think it's better than what's there now.
Well, and the game I'm playing right now with Far Cry, it's I've mentioned it before, where you move it and you can. It's like your weapon wheel.
Yeah.
But it's kind of a pain when I'm trying to press my map.
Sure.
And I accidentally switched to a different gun.
Right.
I don't want that.
Like that's the piece. Like that piece of that controller has never really made sense to me, other than just being a giant start button.
It's gonna stay there.
Well, of course it is, because you can't just like backtrack on it.
You gotta try to do
PlayStation doesn't do that. That's the one thing I always laugh about with Sony.
Yeah.
is like they still haven't canceled the PlayStation Vita.
No, but I recently saw a post that like a store had like almost a wall of it.
Sure, because no one's buying it because they've given up on it, but they're not going to actually say they gave up on it because that would be bad.
Yes.
Whereas like Xbox, I have to admire like Microsoft for going like the Kinect didn't work. It's no longer a thing.
Because of privacy issues.
Well, but it's done. We're done with Kinect. Yeah. Kinect is done.
Yeah.
We've dropped it. You know, even Xbox's first controller, that behemoth of a, you know.
All of them.
Hold on, I got this.
This is the PS4 compared to the PS3.
Yep.
The PS3, I go back to that now, and my hands are together. Mm-hmm. Because I'm used to this.
But even like Xbox has gone from that giant thing to, like, I use this for my computer, but you know, like, it is actually like they've done testing to make sure. Oh, this feels comfortable in my hands. Yeah. Whereas PlayStation, it's like they've probably done the research because you can probably see how many times I've pressed that stupid button in the middle.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm only pressing it because it opens my map. I'm gonna press this button just as much, like, you know. Mm-hmm. My dog's going to sleep. That's her. Okay. So bored, sigh. But yeah, like that's the thing. I don't need a giant button to open a map or a menu. Like I don't. So that's the. But PlayStation's like, nope, we developed it. We're darn well gonna use it.
It's gonna do it.
Yep. Someone's gonna love it.
Yeah. That's it. Well, that's about it.
That's it for the show today. Unless you want to talk about it. There's a Tesla truck that came out that looks like it came straight out of an N64 game.
That's what everybody's compared it to.
Yeah.
PS1.
You know what? I have to hand it.
PS1.
Yeah.
Original Xbox.
I have to hand it to Tesla. Like, I always like interesting looking cars.
Oh, Musk.
Yeah. Yeah. Elon Musk.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
I got a great idea.
It's a tank.
Guys, I got a great idea.
It's a tank.
Yeah.
You want the Batmobile.
Yeah.
It's the closest thing you're going to get to it.
Yeah, but it's an electric Batmobile, so it's good for the, like, you know...
Environment?
Yeah.
Woohoo.
I know.
Doesn't matter. Batmobile won't go anywhere if it's not charged.
No, but that's the whole point is, like, they're looking at these cars now going...
I don't know if it was gas-powered. How was it?
What?
The Batmobile.
Yes.
It wasn't gas.
Must have been, well, probably jet fuel and like depending the Tim Burton ones with that giant thing on the back. It must have been jet fuel.
Maybe.
I don't know how the Batmobile goes.
Just random
Stark
thoughts
Tech.
here.
Stark Tech.
Random thoughts here.
Tony Stark Tech.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
He's a billionaire.
Bruce Wayne's a billionaire. Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, it's Wayne Tech. See, this Batmobile won't even make noise.
That's terrifying because you won't see it coming.
Yeah, I know.
Especially at night.
See,
it being great.
Batman should go to alternative energies for his cars.
It won't have the oomph like it did.
Very, very sneaky.
Oh boy.
I do like the car. Like it's one of those things where eventually I do want an electric. One, I want an electric car. Two, I want an electric car that drives itself.
I just want a vehicle that drives itself. I don't care what it is.
Yeah. I do. I want the self-driving car before I want the electric car.
Electric, gas, I don't care. Just
Yep.
drive me. Make life easier.
Sure. Make life better for everybody. Self-driving cars.
Yep.
The computer will figure out who it can hit.
Watch over that pedestrian. No, well.
Yeah. No, it picks which pedestrian.
Do I like this person? I don't know.
Kill the driver, kill the people on the sidewalk. It's the trolley problem, but inside a car. So,
thank you.
There you go. Either way, join us in about 5 minutes for the post-credit show where we'll talk about games we've played, movies we watched, and other sort of nerd junk we've done. Trust me, it ain't long.
Yeah.
The lists are pretty short this week, so we might do something else. We'll see. Yeah. Join us, though. We'll recombobulate things. Hit like, hit subscribe, hit all of the following buttons, whatever it is. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.